Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Brunswick Bowls Club. We're back at the Brunswick Bowls Club.
We're back here, finally, after many weeks promising. We're back.
Yeah, they did take the key off us, but now I can't get it out of my back pocket.
You've got one
I
cut.
took the key back.
You got one cut.
Took it back.
Got one cut.
I got it cut indeed. Introductions?
Probably should do some introductions.
Introductions.
Jump in again.
You going to jump in?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Andy Hayes.
I'm James Blackwell.
This is James Blackwell, who keeps stealing the part. I had a whole bit here, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I was going to call you a salmon, a tadpole, a cod.
Tadpole?
Yeah, we're going to get a bit weird.
Okay, yeah.
James the cod,
you've
salmon.
gone
James
there.
the cod Blackwell.
It's got weird. Anyway,
Right.
We've got a fast-paced show to get through today. Lots of things to cover. Great weekend in sport. So before we get into it, website sportingmad.com.au. Check it out. There's been a few articles posted this week.
Twitter.
Twitter.
See, it's not nice when people cut you off.
It is not nice when we cut off. Twitter is at sportingmadau. Follow us on there. Our Facebook is sportingmad. Just search us on there and like us. We post a lot of things on there. Some point over the week, this podcast will be available on iTunes, and this video, which you should be watching, is available on YouTube. You know that. You're already watching it on YouTube, but there should be a thing around here.
Subscribe. Help us out. Help our brother out.
Click that, and that'll be
out.
great.
Can I say that? Help our brother out?
Of course you can.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, we don't know about Hulk Hogan. He hasn't had a great week. He's had a bit of a... he got fired, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got fired from the WWE for being...
Racist.
Been a very racisty week.
Yeah, apparently he's quite ranty. I've not heard the rants, but very ranty. Anyway,
Okay.
let's get into it. Kick things off, Andy, with the highlight of the week.
Look, my looking forward to thing last week
Yep.
was Boomer Harvey playing his 400 game.
Yep.
So it would be silly of me
Not to say.
it was my highlight of the week.
Yep.
And not only because North Melbourne won, which is good because we needed it. So he played his 400 game in Brisbane. Got 27 disposals, which is huge. Top for North Melbourne. Kicked 2 goals and was just outstanding during the game. Even managed to give a bloke a James Asher clip on the way through.
Yep.
Copped $1,000 fine today, so that was all good.
Oh, good stuff.
So that was my highlight of the week.
Yep.
I can't, bravo to Boomer Harmy.
Well done, Boomer.
Boomer Harmy. Boomer Harmy.
My highlight.
Yes, James. What was your highlight of the week?
My highlight was the rugby championship. It was a.
It was an interesting week.
Look.
Well, no.
Look, Australia-Argentina game. That was. The first half was quite close, 8-6 at half time, but then Australia did run away with it in the second half, and they now think that they've won the World Cup and have got a really good chance of beating the All
They haven't
Blacks.
beaten Argentina in Argentina for a while though, in that particular stadium.
Yes, yeah. Look, it was a good result, but let's
Their second try was a filthy forward pass.
Yeah.
I think it was their second try.
Let's take it for face value.
They beat Argentina.
They beat Argentina, and they've got the All
And
Blacks.
they didn't beat them in the pack. Well, I didn't think they did anyway.
And they've got the All Blacks up next, and the All Blacks, they looked like they were going to lose against South Africa. South Africa were playing extremely well in South Africa, but like the typical All Blacks, they just don't know when they're beaten, and they had lots of gaps at the back, and you could take a bus through some of the things.
And Richie McCaw
got the winning try. Yeah, look, that's the thing with the All Blacks, that there was some defensive frailties there.
Yeah.
There's large gaps. They'll probably work on that in the next couple of weeks, especially before the.
And look, the feedback from New Zealand before is a lot of New Zealanders have been talking about dropping Richie McCaw because he's too old.
Yeah,
he still comes up with that. I don't think they can drop him until give him a World Cup and say thanks very much.
He's going to France then, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, wow.
So,
yeah.
Look, it is what it is, but New Zealand is still a team to beat.
And on the reverse side, Quade Cooper got absolutely panned by the Australian fans, and what a delightful time that was.
Well, did you see his rants on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't give an F about your team selection. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gold.
That's Quade.
He is gold. Okay,
Stuff, Quade.
As you mentioned, huge amount of sport over the weekend.
Yes.
And I will say, actually, just for anyone who's listening to this or recorded, we are a Brunswick Bowls Club, and there seems to be what can only be described as like a big band session going on behind us.
It sounds like a rave.
It's something going on. So
those youngsters,
get off my lawn, keep the noise down. So we can't stop that. So if you do hear it, just think of it as nice background noise.
Yeah, it's
we're just going to soothe it in. Anyway, it is a big week. Where shall we start? Plenty.
Well, I think the tour.
Shall we talk about the tour?
Yeah, I think
Le Tour. Le Chris Froome.
Yeah,
I can't speak the French.
No, you can't. But Chris Froome wins his second
It
tour.
is a second. In pretty
Comprehensive fashion, would
I
you
was
say?
looking for a word, so comprehensive will work.
Yep.
Comprehensive will work.
Yes. He won it, and no one likes Team Sky, but he won
Well,
it.
somebody said to me the other day that they spend $40 million a year. That's their budget.
It's a lot of money.
For bicycles, yeah, sure. And that's, they're just so clinical. He said, no, look, I don't think they're doping. They're doing the science part of it better than anyone else.
I think his winning bike weighed like 700 grams or something, they said. His whole bike.
Surely it's ridiculous. My shoe weighs more than that.
Look,
I've eaten steak bigger than that. I mean, obviously, look at me.
Yeah, but I don't think he's doping. He's I know, like we've said before, that Lance came out when he was making all the wins and said he wasn't.
Yeah, but Lance was
doping.
clearly a psychopath.
But I don't think Chris Froome is doping. He said he respects the yellow jersey, and the disrespect that he gets in some quarters.
Well, can we
I don't think it's
just say quickly that the tour, there was a lot of cases of what we were talking about last week. A lot of cases of people being punched.
Yes.
Having some wee thrown on him.
Yep.
And Froome came out again and said he's been spat on.
Yes. Yeah. And someone tried to. The police shot someone.
Oh yeah, someone tried to ram the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, France. Who knew it was so punchy?
I don't believe he.
No.
He's,
well, anyway,
he's
a big congratulations to
well
Chris
done,
Froome.
Chris. Yes.
It takes a lot of effort to win 2 times. If he wins 7, then I'll be calling for the doping questions. But
I wear a yellow jersey when I ride to work every day. Not because I think I'm Chris Froome, but because it just makes me be seen. Maybe that's just what he wants. He can't afford a high-vis jersey.
I've got some comments here, but I don't think I've got time for me to bring them all up. I've seen you in your cycling gear. It's not a pretty sight. It's not pretty. You are wedged into those pants. I don't know how you get in them. I think you've got to jump off the wardrobe to get into
That's
them.
pretty Vaseline.
Grease me up, woman. I'm going to work. All right.
Let's move on.
AFL, big round of AFL the weekend.
It was a tight round. There were some tight games.
So the tipping was hard, but I guess 2 main things jumped out. Hawthorn.
That was just a run. That's not
Hawthorn absolutely destroyed Carlton, and that was just
137 points or something.
It was just ridiculous.
It's horrible.
Congratulations to Hawthorn, but Carlton, go and look at yourselves.
Take
a look at yourselves.
It's when
It's a bit
men,
silly.
men against boys, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's a bit silly. And the other one was the Richmond Freo game.
That was
that was a game of football.
That was a
That's
cracking
what football
game.
should be about.
That was like I generally only watch probably one game of AFL every fortnight or every 3 weeks because I'm just. But it was a big.
Don't care.
It's because I don't care. But I was kind of flicking through that game, and then it was such a tight game, such a tight contest. I ended up sitting there.
It was unbelievable. And then just finishing kick, win it all.
Look, that's what it was. Like both sides gave everything, and they were just absolutely exhausted.
It's what the AFL should be.
It was just one of those things where, if your opposition is just good at behind, you don't kick the ball down the guts to the comp's best player in that Fife for him to knock it forward.
It wasn't Fife.
It was Fife. He knocked it forward.
It was
into
Fife
in midfield
and caught it and brought it into Monday.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll give you that.
And
I'll give you that.
You just don't do that. Don't get it down his throat.
So that's congratulations to Freo. Huge win. Keeps them ticking along beautifully and just keeps the championships going up. And special mention to West Coast as well for dominating Sydney.
Yes.
Now, something that's dear to our hearts.
Racism. Well, we've covered it already.
That's probably didn't start. I don't think racism is dear to our hearts. That doesn't sound so good.
Well, we like a bit of racism.
No, we don't. We don't.
No, we don't.
We don't. We're completely against it. Now, John Terry. If you're going to
talking
racism,
talking about racists,
talking about alleged racists.
Well, he wasn't alleged. He's been.
Was he found guilty?
He was found.
All right. Well, then, talking about racists, John Terry. You remember a couple of months ago when Chelsea played
Paris Saint-Germain in Paris,
and they had those idiots, goons, whatever you want to call them, worse than that, who were singing racist chants against the guy trying to get on the metro.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him on, would they?
They wouldn't let him on, and then they were singing racist chants. So they, during the week, copped a 5-year ban from any football ground in England, which is fantastic.
Is it any in England or in?
Oh, it might be anywhere, so this is another question.
To enforce, I guess.
Well, this is. I don't know how you enforce that.
Yeah,
I don't know how you enforce it, but I'm glad that they've done something.
Yeah, it's a firm stand, but the fact remains, John Terry is still captain of Chelsea
after being accused of found guilty of racism.
Found guilty of racism.
Yeah, so. Interesting. I'm glad that Chelsea and everybody, the FA came out and did something because that kind of behaviour shouldn't be tolerated at all. But they should have pinged John Terry. Now, Beautiful segue. Do you like what I did there?
I did.
Do you like what I did?
Talking about pinging John Terry.
I'll let you, because you had joy. You sent this to me.
I love this. I love Zlatan anyway.
Who doesn't love Zlatan?
And for him just to see John Terry, the ball was nowhere near, and he just saw John Terry and jumped like he was competing for the ball, and then just swung through with
Just
an
like,
elbow.
clipped him beautifully.
He did what every neutral football
If there's a
fan
footballer
wanted to
out there that you could give a sneaky elbow to, would it be John Terry?
do. No, he's probably bigger than me, so he'd probably...
That's all right. Just don't worry about the size, mate.
Zlatan can do it.
Everyone's bigger than you. Everyone.
Everyone is bigger than me. Like, Zlatan can get away with it because he's Zlatan.
But would you?
Oh, like
Would John Terry be the guy?
on a football pitch, he'd be up there, wouldn't he?
Would he?
Yeah.
See, mine would be Martin Keown.
Martin Keown.
Now, Martin Keown would absolutely kick the balls out of me.
Oh yeah, he'd go postal.
He'd go postal. There's just something about Martin Keown that when he played for Arsenal made me want to jump through the TV and hit him.
Yeah.
It's very John Terry-esque.
It is fun. Yeah. Maybe something about English
His
defenders.
centre-backs.
Yeah.
They're just... Well, we won't use that word.
Yeah.
In saying that...
Wazzocks.
Martin Keown, not a racist.
No, he's not a racist.
No.
And he's turned out to be a very good football pundit.
You know, no, I like him now.
Very impartial.
But I like lots of people once they retire because you see that they're just not arseholes.
Yeah.
But Martin Keown's my guy. You have a think about that one. Come back to me.
Jamie Carragher.
Really?
Again, he's one of those ones which at the time... But
Yeah.
he did score a lot of own goals for Liverpool against Man United, which was great for us.
Yeah.
But-
Jamie Carragher. No, I wouldn't have picked that one.
We need to move on.
Okay.
The World Cup qualification for the 2018 World Cup in Russia was... like that?
Thank you, Boris.
Russia.
Boris.
Boris is Vladimir Putin.
Now, did you see that picture? You had Vladimir Putin and Sepp Blatter on the one stage. It was like the Axis of Evil were drawing the names.
Yeah, and Diego Forlan was helping out for some reason, wasn't he?
Let's not tar him with the same brush.
No. But just why was he there? But
Well, they needed somebody.
It was an interesting draw. Some of the matchups, because of the way the
seedings have been
the
done.
pots were done. Wales and Ireland, something dear to our hearts, were...
This is all I could find. This is all I could find.
Got there. But that's rugby related, but we're talking about football now.
Yeah, but look.
Yes.
Ireland, Wales.
Yes, they're next to each other.
And?
England, Scotland.
Hey, how do you
Very
like
well
that?
done. Yeah, so...
Some of us prep for this show by looking through our hoodies and go, which can make a point.
What's wrong with my T-shirt?
I don't. We're not going back into... If history repeats itself, I'm getting it. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would too.
Yeah, you would. Dinosaurs are pet. But anyway, we digress. Off on a tangent. Wales and Ireland drawn in the same group, and England, Scotland drawn in the same group.
England, Scotland, ridiculously easy group.
Oh, England have got a...
As usual, England seem to get it. Freaking cakewalk.
Did you see that the rules are that England have to be in a group of 6 to maximise the TV rights? Because they get more games. So if they get drawn into a group of 5, they get moved into a group of 6.
But that's surely a compromised draw then.
Yeah.
And the English are shit.
Sorry,
excuse my language. No, I won't excuse my language.
Maximise the TV rights. So I was reading about it today and I couldn't believe it. And there's a few others, I think. France, Italy and Spain as well have to be in groups of 6 to maximise the TV revenues for UEFA.
But that's nonsense then. That means that they get seeded to drop into groups.
Yeah. But look, let's be honest. Like Wales were...
I didn't know that. That's made me angry.
Yeah, Wales were in the pot 1, but a lot of the other teams in the draw, Austria, Serbia, Ireland... They were probably the team you wanted out of the pot 1. You didn't want to be drawn against some of the other teams.
I agree. Okay, it's going to make for an interesting group. Wales, on ranking, should be the best team.
Yeah, but Austria are 15th. I didn't
they're
realise.
good. Austria are good.
They were.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be between
Serbia are improving.
Yeah.
Ireland are a good team. Maybe not good individuals, but a good team.
So it'll be. I think it will be Austria. I think it will be between Austria, Ireland, and Wales.
You don't think Serbia are gonna?
No, I don't think so. But they're always those Serbia, Montenegro. All those teams are very difficult to play against.
Yeah,
and
there's
100 of them.
And only top place goes through, and second place goes into the
playoffs. So I'd probably give Wales over Ireland at this rate. But you've got Gareth Bale, and that's it. And if you say Aaron Ramsey, I'm not buying
apparently
it.
He's on the way to Barcelona for 50 mil. So
they don't have any English quotas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's just...
And England got Scotland, and their easy group. England would go through there in a heartbeat, you would imagine.
So, just want to touch on the Netball World Cup, or I want to touch on the Netball World Cup. That starts in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we put a call out on our social media platforms this week for interested people to contribute for us to cover the Netball World Cup for us, because we're not experts, and we were just inundated with responses. I could not believe how many responses we had.
Some passionate people out there.
Passionate people out there who want to write for us, and as a result of that, the amount of content.
If you want to write for us, get in touch with him.
Yeah, get in touch, sportingmad.com.au, get in touch through the website or via our Facebook or Twitter platforms.
Yep.
But we're going to have a special section
We'll go with section
on our website for the Netball World Cup to cover the amount of people who are interested in writing for us, and hopefully the amount of people who are interested in reading about it.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
All right, moving on.
It's Andy, what time is it?
Yes. It's time for Clown of the Week. It's getting better.
Is that the theme tune?
It's the theme tune.
It's the theme tune.
I wrote the theme tune. I think the theme tune. Thank you, Dennis Waterman.
Okay, I will let you kick us off with your Clown of the Week.
Okay. It's a one-horse race. I'm cutting you out. You're out.
Well, I want to have my chance to say my clown.
No, you're out.
I want to say my clown.
My Clown of the Week, you're out, is Robert Allenby,
Yeah.
the Australian golfer who sacked his caddy halfway round. So on the 9th hole, I think it was. Caddy's name
generally
is
halfway.
Yeah. Well, yes. Mick Middlemoe, they got in an argument, and he turned around and he basically said he's sacked. Now, if you remember, Robert Allenby came out probably a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, maybe a bit more, when he got drugged and kidnapped in Hawaii after being in a wine bar. Allegedly. Now his caddy's come out, and his caddy's been with him for a while and basically said, nah, I'm pretty sure he just got drunk and fell over and didn't want to admit it. So, look, it's pretty easy. He's come across as a bully. He's come across as an idiot. He's well renowned for being aggressive, and nobody really likes him on the tour.
Yeah.
And for that, Robert Allenby is my Clown of the Week.
It's a good clown. It's a good clown.
Now, you don't get a clown.
Well, I've got a clown. I just don't have a clown.
Okay.
I get to have my say, surely.
No, you don't.
Why?
You're cut.
This isn't Russia.
Cut.
This isn't Russia. This is a democracy.
I'd say I was going to do a Russian accent, but I don't know why it sounds
like
slightly Australian.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's okay. You're also cut. Apparently, I'm not so good at it.
Rainier Wolfcast.
So you're cut. Anyway.
My Clown of the Week. I don't have a Clown of the Week. I think everyone's been on their best behaviour because they don't want to be our Clown of the Week.
I doubt it.
In a return to tradition...
Robert Allenby.
No. This man's my Clown of the Week.
No, Paul. No, you're not. Don't worry.
Return to tradition.
No.
He's a clown.
No.
What's he done this week?
He's training.
He's done nothing.
We need to move on. Robert Allenby, you are our Clown of the Week. Paul McShane, you're safe for another week.
Paul.
Just Paul?
Just Paul.
You know what you've done.
You know. I know. And you know.
Okay.
Now we're going to our deep and meaningful section of the show.
Should we hold hands?
I don't think it's deep and meaningful. I think
Should I dip the lights?
I think it's just thoughtful.
Should I put on some jazz?
We got the jazz next door.
Okay.
Jazz fusion. ICC Cup.
Yes.
The International Champions Cup.
What an absolute waste of time. I'm sorry. My opinion.
No, I'll tell you what's a waste of time.
Yes.
I have a ranty. The Samsung sideline. What the hell was that?
It didn't even. So for those who don't know, the Samsung slider was this thing that obviously was sponsored by Samsung. That was on a train track that was supposed to go up and down with the ball.
Yeah.
And it was really slow. So when you watch the ball go, you just saw them go.
Yeah, they have it at the rugby a little bit, but most of the time the people were just sitting there waving with their arms up, thinking on a roller coaster.
Well, two of them were famous. One was Sally Fitzgibbon, the surfer, and the other was some fat guy from Channel 9.
Oh, I don't know. And it's just ridiculous. Why they have a Samsung? Why sit in the? You just don't have these gimmicks at a football match. It's not American sports where you need to dress things up. And that sort of brings me on to my latest rant later on. But the MCG pitch.
Horrible. Well, perfect for footy, but shocking for football.
It looked fantastic the following night to get Richmond against Freo.
Yeah, because it just looks better because they're not as close in. You don't see the ball bobbling.
But yeah, look, the pitch was poor.
Which is unusual for the MCG because it's usually like a billiard table.
Yeah, look, I think the problem was the amount of media things and that they did on the pitch over the course of the week. All the teams were allowed to train on the pitch. The pitch was getting used every day, whereas generally
Amy Park just across the way, and they did use that for training.
They did use it for training and some of the other sponsorship things with Audi and all that, but they still used the pitch to have all their kicking with the Sharons and all that, and it was just like the there's a number of things which I think, like the ICC Cup, it's a pre-season tournament, and love it or hate it, it's here to stay, and it looks like it's going to be back next year.
Yeah.
But if Channel 9 are going to get into football coverage, which it seems like they are, they need to sort out their commentators.
Yeah, they were awful.
They had guys which were obviously knowledgeable about football, but they just didn't have any way to.
If you're going to do a tournament like that, let the Fox boys do it.
Yeah, they all they were was biased. And it was like, all they wanted to talk about was how great it was for the Australian crowd, and they tried making us believe there was Man City fans in the crowd. Come on.
Look, I saw a couple in the pub.
Yeah,
on the way there.
I saw a couple of people around town, around the city, when I was on my way home from work, wearing their Man City scarves. And all I want to ask them is, who's Sean Gota? Who's Darren Huckabee?
Don't feed the goat.
Like, I honestly believe that none of them knew Man City existed until 5 years ago.
Do you remember Sean Gota's ears? He just had in those weird, incredible ears. Google him. Google Sean Gota. Have a look at his ears.
Like
bizarre
Paul Dickoff.
Ears.
Do they know who these players are?
Paul Dickoff is about that tall. He couldn't even see over this table.
But that's just my opinion.
But that's like Chelsea fans back in when
Yes, yeah, I can understand that. But it would like the 80-90% of the crowd were Real Madrid fans. Even Joe Hart admitted to that in the post-match interview.
Yeah.
But the poor reffing in the tournament,
decisions, wasn't it?
Like, I know they're using the local refs and that, trying to expose them to the high-profile games, but it just makes Australia look like amateur, and it is true.
It was.
But we're still, like, people say we're 10 years behind the rest of the world. In that refereeing was 20 years behind.
Well, even what was it? Sterling's handball. Was it Sterling?
Sterling handballed.
He handballed it, knocked it into another guy outside the box.
Outside the box, and he won a penalty.
Yeah.
That's amateur. There was offside calls when Ronaldo was about 3 yards onside, and it just
99,000 people turned up to that game on Friday night.
Yeah.
And there was considerably less at the Hawthorn Carlton game in the street.
25,000.
Now that's two things. AFL fans don't like Etihad, but I think a lot of people went along that because it's a showcase. They won't get to see some of these players again, and I don't mind that. But what I mind is people complaining that the quality wasn't good and it was.
Yeah, we covered that. We covered that last week, and I think look, there was a lot of articles throughout the week. The Age, the Herald Sun, all of a sudden they're on the football bandwagon when they weren't before, and saying, is AFL under threat from football?
Okay.
And I think
so. I want to stop you there.
Yep.
I want to ask you the question then is about AFL fan engagement.
Yep.
Do you think they've got a problem now, and they've tried to go too American, or they've tried to be too corporate, and because the crowds are suffering?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things. I think the fact that you've got your favourite item, t-shirt cannons, at games, I think it's ridiculous. I'm
not copping another one of them to the face. I can tell you.
The nature of AFL is that it's quite stop-start with the need to kick a goal. But they're flashing at the electronics, the advertising boards around the pitch. They just prove to be too much of a distraction for the fan because they're flashing all the time. But like in a football match, because the game is always going on around you, you kind of block out. You don't really notice it. But in an AFL match, I think you notice it a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing for me, and what sort of prevents me from going to a lot more football matches, is that you're just constantly bombarded, even on the TV, you're constantly bombarded every 40 seconds with an ad with, are you betting? Why haven't you betting? Get a bet on. You need to get a bet on. Do you doing some in-game betting? Phone this number.
You can bet in the toilet.
Yeah, bet. Get on your betting now.
There is a lot of betting ads. And it's 45 million a year the betting industry puts into sport here. In advertising, and that's ludicrous.
And I understand why they need to do that. But they try, like AFL is trying this after last year suffering so much.
Wow,
what is going on?
Wow,
Jesus!
I've just done a little bit of poo in my pants there. Sorry about that. I was trying to look up the actual figures, and one of those stupid websites has autoplay video.
Yeah,
sorry about that, folks.
But yeah, look, after trying to be a family-friendly sport, especially after last year, the crowd numbers were suffering because they put games at unfavourable times. Put the prices of tickets up, and the prices of tickets are still relatively high. I know there's a Sunday.
They're not
Sundays
bad,
are better now for families.
Well, the food prices are outrageous, and now they've brought them down. But what they did is we brought all the prices down, folks. Don't worry, they've shrunk everything.
Yeah, look, and I think it's because of all the contracts they've got with the food suppliers, and I understand
they're getting wrought though.
I understand all that, but I think that the price to take a family to the football is too much, and when you think of all this other stuff, you're just bombarded with all these glitz and glamour. You're not letting the game do the talking. At the players, the match speak for itself, and I think they have tried to go too American to kind of artificially create an atmosphere by saying make some noise. And I think there's a lot.
Well, I think we can cover this again because I think it's a huge topic.
I think it's a massive topic. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I scared myself.
Yeah,
a
and I got a
bit
bit ranty then.
I scared myself with the weird noise.
Yep.
So, all right.
We're off kilter. Anyway.
Viral story of the week. There was two good ones. One that just popped across our desk today.
Yeah, you sent this one to me. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I think it was Oldham.
Yes, it was Oldham.
Oldham Athletic. We're playing Blackburn Rovers in a friendly. Now, a queen bee managed to work its way onto a goalpost. And if anyone knows anything about bees, as I do...
You're
amateur beekeeper.
Okay, yeah. What's the Latin name for that?
Beeposaurus queeniitis.
Okay. I don't believe you.
Okay. So the queen bee goes on the post, and the other bees come in to protect it. That's what they do, and it covered the entire goalpost. Yeah. So they had to go out to my fellow beekeeping brethren in England.
Yep.
And ask them. No, I don't think they entice them off with, here, would you like some of your own shit? I don't think they entice them off with that.
Some of your own nectar.
Probably a better word. But they got in and they got the queen out, and then all the bees left, and they went and played the game, and Oldham lost 2-0 to Blackburn.
Good story.
So we've posted that this morning, I think. So have a look at that.
Yes, yeah, with my great pan. Did you like that pan?
Yeah, stolen from Blackburn. Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah,
put out the same thing. What about you, James? What did you like?
Philippe Mexes for AC Milan against Inter Milan again in the ICC Cup. It's a friendly, but this goal, we posted it on our
FIFA-esque. You said.
I
looked at it. I think it is.
I think it's better than FIFA. I think
Pro Evolution.
Maybe Pro Evolution back in the day, 10 years ago. Not
or sensible soccer.
Yeah, like it was just straight from the corner and he just jumped about 10 foot in the air.
It was a gangly hit, but he hit it.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's hit some screaming volleys from 30 yards out like that. And
so we'll put the links to both of those videos down below here. So have a look at them.
Cracking.
Get on YouTube and have a look at these.
Cracking. Well done, Felipe Mexes.
Yes. All right, where are we off to next, James? Lead me.
What are we looking forward to in this week of sport, Andy?
I don't know. I think I've been ruined a little bit by this week. Look, I think Ash's third test starts in Birmingham Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday Australia time.
Yeah, it's Thursday Australia time. Going to be a good game. 1-1. Australia clearly played better cricket in the last test. Yeah. Brad Haddon looking like he's going to get an inclusion. I think that's ridiculous. I think Peter Neville's ready to just take over. And it's time for Haddon to step back and let someone else do it.
He wasn't dropped because of form for the second.
He should have been because he was awful.
Yeah, but I think the team that did so well against England in the second test should be retained. Yeah.
And I think they should, and I don't think they will, and I think that's a poor decision, and it shows no balls from the selectors.
But that's the Australian way, though, isn't it?
It's the New South Wales way.
Put the big name in.
It's stupid.
Don't give youth a chance.
It's stupid. And what about yourself?
Look, I'm looking forward to the on the back of the Women's World Cup, the Women's FA Cup final in England is this weekend. It's Chelsea against Notts County. It's the first time they've held the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley. Previously they've gone to Bramall Lane, all the sort of smaller grounds.
That's
the first
fantastic. How good would that be for the two teams walking out in Wembley?
Yeah, and they've sold. I think the latest estimates are they've got about 55,000 tickets sold.
That is fantastic. So that's going to come off the back of the World Cup as well.
That's come off the back of the World Cup. So they're still riding a lot of that wave, but I think it's.
Why wouldn't you? Because that's a great thing to do.
And I think it's great because it gets 55,000 people there at the game now, and they're going to see women's football. The two best teams. It's going to be a tight game, third against fourth in the Women's Super League at the moment.
All right,
it's going to be great.
Fantastic. James, we've rushed through it because there was that much to talk about.
So much to talk about this week.
And that's it. So
subscribe, click above here. Subscribe, follow us on social media at SportingMadAU.
Visit the
on
website.
Twitter, visit the website, sportingmad.com.au. Lots of articles on there. And Facebook, Sporting Mad.
Yes.
This will be on iTunes, Audio Boom. In the coming hours, weeks, months. And that's it for us. We'll see you next week.